We're headed out on the road. First stop is Arlington, no, I guess it's Dallas, Texas, not Arlington, Texas. Here's a sneak peek of how we get ready and come along for the ride. Okay, it's travel day. One of the last things we do is load the refrigerator. Pro tip we figured out here because we're geniuses, carry all your stuff in laundry baskets back and forth to the house. It saves a ton of time. The question is, are we gonna be able to get all this food into this tiny refrigerator? Stay tuned. All right, let's see if she did it. Wow. Impressive. Even got popsicles. So it's about T-minus a few hours or so before we head out, packing up all of our podcasting gear, video equipment, all that kind of fun stuff. Blakely's hammering out some work before we go. We're gonna get a quick workout in and then hit the road. All right, so we just finished about a 45-minute workout. Always like to get a workout in before we hit the road if we can. Only a little bit of load up left to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and raise the stabilizers. Then all I have to do is unplug the electric, hook up the backup camera, and we'll be off. Here's some good news inside the camper. Got a little sunshine, battery is almost fully charged. That'll help out. We'll be driving for about 4.5 hours so we can run the refrigerator off the battery, which will be recharging off the solar if we get some sun. Keep our food cold. We're about ready to roll out, so one of the last things to do is disconnect the power, switch the refrigerator over to battery power, and then off we go.
All right, this was actually Jonathan's great idea. So a lot of times these drawers open in flight. So we've got all the cushions blocking them, and for the higher drawer, we've got little cables. These two are connected together. This one's tied up. Our air fryer is nice and secure in there. We put a water boiler in here. Everything should stay put.
Fridge is closed, running on the battery.
Let's roll.
All this stuff should stay put, right?
Yeah.
You guys ready to go camping? You ready? You ready, Lacey?
Okay, we're arriving to our campsite, Cedar Hill State Park. This place was really cool, much cooler than we thought. We actually chose it because the place we normally stay when we visit Jonathan's dad was sold out, and man, we got lucky. This is on the other side of this huge lake in the middle of Dallas called Joe Pool Lake. And we will definitely be staying here again. It is in that $20 range per night versus like that $60 range per night like the park on the other side of the lake was, because this is a state park. You have lots of space for each campsite. There was a big mix of trailer campers and tent campers, tons and tons of hiking trails. So this time of year, so many like flowers and blue bonnets. It was really, really beautiful. And a little beachfront. So right across from us, we could walk down, and there was like a little pebble beach, and you could walk for about a mile on this water, which was beautiful.
All right, we just pulled into our spot. Step number one is always connect the power and make sure it works. In case it doesn't, you don't go through the hassle of everything else. Police are already patrolling. This is a cool spot. How did everything do in here?
Let me check again.
Fridge working?
Yeah, I just flipped it over.
How'd you girls do? So Blakely's setting up the inside. I'm gonna do the outside. Got the wheels chalked off. Camper's still hooked up to the truck right now. I'm gonna hook up the water because sometimes there's a ton of air in the line. It takes forever to flush out, so that way she can get the water circulating. Looks like my duct tape job from yesterday held for the most part. Top came off. Not duct tape, electrical tape. I put locks on these water doors. Can't jack with the water supply. It's cold. Fingers are numb. All right, let's go tell her that the water is on. Oh, actually, you know what? I forgot to turn the water on. All I did was hook it up. Should probably do it. Come on. Check for leaks. No leaks. It's leaking. Is it on my end or theirs? It's on their end. It's leaking from the top of the handle, so nothing I can do about that in the state of Texas. Water's on. Okay, next thing is to jack up the trailer, separate it from the truck, and then get the truck out of here. I don't think I'm gonna leave the truck here, but I'm gonna wait and ask Blakely where she wants me to put it. All right, next thing is I gotta get the trailer level so the propane works right, so the shower drains. So I actually don't like the camper to be exactly level, then the shower doesn't drain really well, so I like to leave the front up just a little bit. I can hear it disengaging. Aha! Success. Dangerous proposition here. Just like at home.
Okay, so right in the middle of this park is this Penn Farm Agricultural Center. We just discovered this taking the dogs for a walk, and it is really cool. There's all these historical buildings. I think they were reconstructed, but they're originally from like the mid 1800s, and lots of old farm equipment and houses and shelters. Definitely a bonus for this state park just to have all of this space to explore and walk around.
At least he wants to know.
So we thought we'd take advantage of this really cool scenery and shoot a little content out on this little ledge beach.
All right, we're at spot number 2 on this trip. Not quite as luxurious and scenic as the state parks, but we'll be fine for a night. And we're off to the next place.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, look it.
Let's talk about how to empty your gray and your black tank. The part of camping that nobody likes to talk about, but really it's not that big a deal. Come with me, I'll show you how to do it. First, you're gonna want some surgical gloves because, you don't exactly want to be touching the contents of your tanks. Plus, you'll just feel like a surgeon in these gloves. We gotta go get our hose, first things first. All right, so here's where the stuff is gonna come out of my camper. It needs to go over here to this white cap over here. Okay, first thing you wanna do is see what kind of connection you're dealing with on this end. And it looks like there's a threaded insert here, which is great because you don't have to worry about your hose kicking back on you and splashing all over the place. Ask me how I would know about that. So you want to thread your fitting in, make sure it's relatively tight. Okay, now we're going to connect the sewer hose to the camper. Make sure you have a hose that has a little cap in the end here, so any gross contents, like I'm looking at right there, stay inside your hose when they're in storage. Make sure your black and your gray are closed before you take this cap off. Ask me how I know. Yes, I did do that once. So we're going to take this cap off and quickly put this on because there's probably a little bit of stuff going to drip out of here. Not too bad today. Make sure it locks into place. All right, now we got this end of the hose that has the 90 on it. That's going to screw onto this cap. I'm already kind of noticing that this is a bit of an uphill battle right here, which is not all that uncommon, unfortunately, and I'll show you what to do about that. Make sure this locks into place, and then rotate this around so that it's straight. Give it a tug, make sure it's not going to come off like it did there, but that part is tight. So I can already see that there's a bit of a belly right here. So the idea is that you put it under your hose and create a nice little ramp leading up to the place where the stuff needs to go. And I think you know what I mean by stuff. Look at that, that works pretty good. All right, so you always want to empty your black tank first because that's got all the poo in it. And then you're going to use the gray tank afterwards to flush out, wash your hose out, supposedly. So here we go. Pull it. Should know. Oh, look. Already screwed the pooch here. What? Yeah, they're right here on my shirt or on my pants. Yeah. Okay, so now what I got to do is massage this down the line to get the weight off of it. And then pull this back to support the hose the whole way. I told you this is the first time I use this. Are the contents flowing? Not really. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and close these black and gray so that when I take this cap off, only a little bit will come out. And I'm gonna have this cap ready to put on the hose so we don't get a lot of leakage. Ugh. Make sure that's in, put this back on. All right, so we're in good shape there. Greetings from the Bennett RV Ranch in Granbury, Texas. We just spent one night here and kind of exploring Granbury a little bit yesterday. Didn't take very long. My parents used to live here. We We started coming here over 20 years ago.
We were married.
So yeah.
It used to be more fun when we knew people who lived here.
These kinds of RV parks, like, get to check out back there, show you some footage over here in a second. Like, I mean, there's probably 75% people living here, just like, you know, straight up living here, which is just a totally different vibe than the state parks and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just like, you don't have any privacy. There's really nothing to do other than stand outside your camper on the gravel. Yeah, so one night here, and now we're moving on to Dinosaur Valley State Park in Glen Rose, California, Texas. It's only like 30 minutes from here, but it should be more of a vibe like the last place. Yeah, there's some scenery out that way, and just not so much behind us. But it's hot. I'm sweating. Are you sweating?
77 degrees.
It's humid though.
We've been dumping tanks.
Dumping takes, schlepping.
We're not used to this humidity in Austin.
Yeah, and when we got to this particular RV spot, we realized that they only had a outlet for a 50 amp camper, which ours is not. Luckily, they were nice enough to let us borrow a converter so that we could actually run our air conditioner and all that stuff. I guess that's something we need to probably buy if they're not too expensive.
We're the tiniest camper.
Yeah, there's one small one up front, but it's still not as small as ours. But all right, onward we go to the next spot.
Dinosaur Valley State Park. I really cannot wait to go back. Going in, I thought it was going to be more geared for kids because of the dinosaur theme. I mean, you do get to see legitimate dinosaur tracks, but in reality, it is more about hiking. There are so many trails to choose from with beautiful surroundings and all kinds of terrains. For one of the trails, we literally had to cross the water on pebbles in two places, and this is what they called a bridge. We were super proud of the dogs for being able to handle this and navigate these rocks. Although at one point I did have to send Buttons across solo because she was about to pull me in the water.
You got this, babe. You're in the home stretch. You what? So am I.
There's all levels of hiking, but I would say there are more like the blue-black levels of hiking if you're a radiant like ski slopes than greens. It's doable, but you have to be in some kind of shape and have the correct gear, which we did not. We brought only workout shoes, which do not make for good hiking shoes at all.
Easy, easy. Easy, Lacey.
The only issue in this park for us was internet signal, because we don't go camping solely for vacation. We're continuing to work. So we had to go into town to actually find a place that we could work for the day that had decent internet. Luckily, we found an amazing coffee shop called Grounded in Coffee, I think. It was a Christian-based coffee shop with even a workspace attached that was dog friendly. Dinosaur Valley State Park is in Glen Rose, Texas, which is a really cute small town. Go camp here if you are ever in the Dallas area of Texas.